Hello, welcome to Taxonomy Online Mathematics. In this episode, we want to provide an answer to a question under indices. We want to prove that these two terms, when multiplied, will produce this answer. It means we need to work with this in order to get this. So right away, we have to expand the bracket by using each term in the first bracket to multiply each of the term in the second bracket. So let me use a dot product as in a multiplying a exponent 4 on 3 as in the first term, multiply the first term, then the first term multiply the last term as plus a multiplying a exponent minus 2 over 3. So the first term multiply. Now you go for the second term. That will be minus a, that is 1 over a, multiplying a exponent 4 out of 3. Then still minus 1 out of a, multiplying a exponent negative 2 out of 3. So now let's simplify. Since we are multiplying the same basis, what do? We deal with the exponent. So here we are going to add as in 1 plus 4 out of 3 as the exponent here. So this can be broken into the same base as in 3 out of 3 plus 4 out of 3. Since they have the same base, we can compute the numerators to be 7 out of 3. Meaning, if I compute this as multiplication, I will be having a exponent 7 out of 3. Then we have plus. We also need to add this as exponent of 1 plus the multiplication means plus, then negative 2 out of 3. But we know the negative will have effect on this, so minus 2 out of 3. With this could also be 3 out of 3. That will give us 1. So the subtraction gives us 1 out of 3. So it means our exponent, when we multiply, is a 1 out of 3. Then we have minus. We can also see that there is a power of what? 1 here. But this is 1 over this. We can reciprocate this and negate the powers. So it means here can be written as a exponent 1 times a exponent 4 out of 3. So we are going to add the powers regardless of the sign. So we have minus 1 plus 4 out of 3. With this could also be 3 out of 3 with a negative. So the base are the same. 4 minus 3. We still have 1 out of 3. So this is a minus a exponent of our 1 out of 3. Then I think what we did here by making the exponent negative will happen here as well. So we are going to have minus 1 plus minus 2 on 3, where the minus 1 can become minus 3 out of 3 minus 2 out of 3, where the negative will take effect for the plus. So that becomes the same base. We take the exponent and that becomes minus 5 out of 4. 3. So what do? We put that as minus a minus 5 out of 4. 3. Positive a, negative a, power of 1 over 3, 1 out of 3. The same power, the same coefficient, so they will cancel. So we are going to have our a exponent 7 on 3 minus a exponent minus 5 out of what? 3. So now this is what we need to solve to be equal to this. But we can see we have what? The same base. The base is the same. So if we are going to factorize, it will be a exponent something into bracket a exponent another term. When we multiply, we'll be adding these two exponents so that it will give us the same one, 7 out of 3. So whatever is outside must multiply whatever is inside, but the powers have to add to give me this. So since I'm seeing 1 out of 3, let me take that out and see that 7 out of 3 minus 1 out of 3. This plus this gives me this. Therefore, this minus this should give me the remaining one. The same base, we have 6 out of 3. And that becomes our factors in terms of the exponent. So it means here becomes a exponent 1 out of 3 into bracket a exponent 6 out of 3. Meaning if I add these two powers, when I multiply, this is what I'll get. Then minus the same thing has to happen here. I want to take away this. So 5 as negative out of 3 minus 1 out of 3. The same base, right? So I'll get negative 6 out of 3 as the power. So I have a exponent negative 6 out of 3. Well, I know these have a common factor. If I divide, I have a exponent 2 minus a exponent minus 2 if you divide. But a power of negative can also be written as well, a fraction. Therefore, this becomes a 1 out of 3, a exponent 2 minus 1 out of a exponent positive 2. Setting this become positive, you reciprocate this. You can see you have it here. 1 out of a exponent 1 becomes a negative exponent when we are expanding it. So this is now proved as the question demand. I believe the concept of the arithmetic is clear. Like, share, and comment. Bye-bye.